Napoleon Bonaparte. The name echoes through history, resonating with tales of conquest, strategy, and leadership. He was a giant on the world stage, a master tactician whose influence shaped the course of nations. But his beginnings were anything but grand. They were humble, rooted in the rugged terrain of Corsica. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon wasn't destined for greatness. His family was of minor nobility, struggling to make ends meet. At least, not at first. His early years were marked by modesty and simplicity. Corsica had just become part of France, a recent acquisition that brought with it a mix of opportunity and tension. Young Napoleon was a proud Corsican, even a bit rebellious. He harbored a fierce sense of identity and independence. Imagine a young Napoleon, small in stature but big on ambition, navigating the bustling streets of Ajaccio, his eyes filled with dreams far beyond the island's shores. He dreamt of glory, even as he struggled with French, the language of his conquerors. The young boy was determined to rise above his circumstances. He was a quick learner, though, devouring books on history and military strategy. His mind was a sponge, absorbing every bit of knowledge he could find. His thirst for knowledge was insatiable. He spent countless hours reading, learning, and dreaming of a future where he could make a difference. Napoleon's father managed to secure him a scholarship to a prestigious military academy in France. This was a turning point in his young life. This was his ticket out of Corsica, a chance to prove himself on a larger stage. He left his home with a heart full of hope and determination. This was his chance to prove himself. He knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it head-on. At the academy, Napoleon excelled in mathematics and military strategy. His teachers quickly recognized his potential. He was a born leader. Even then, his peers saw in him a sharp mind and an unwavering determination to succeed. His classmates recognized his sharp mind and unwavering determination. They knew he was destined for something greater. Napoleon graduated early, at the age of 16, just as the French Revolution was erupting. The world around him was changing rapidly. France was in turmoil, and Napoleon saw an opportunity. The revolution was a crucible, forging new leaders and new paths. He joined the army, eager to make his mark. He was driven by a desire to rise above his humble beginnings and achieve greatness. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. A journey that would see him rise to the heights of power and influence, leaving an indelible mark on history. France was a powder keg of revolution. The monarchy was crumbling. The people were restless and yearning for change. Into this chaos stepped Napoleon Bonaparte, a young and ambitious artillery officer. He quickly rose through the ranks, displaying remarkable military skill and leadership. Napoleon's first major victory came at the Siege of Toulon in 1793. He was just 24 years old. His strategic brilliance was evident. He drove the British out of the port city, earning him recognition and promotion. Napoleon was a master of artillery. He used cannons with devastating effect. His enemies learned to fear his tactical genius. The French Revolution was a time of great upheaval. Political factions battled fiercely for control. Napoleon, ever the opportunist, aligned himself with the rising star of Maximilien Robespierre. This was a time of terror and bloodshed, but it was also a time of opportunity for a cunning and ambitious young man. When Robespierre fell from power, Napoleon narrowly escaped the guillotine. He quickly adapted to the shifting political landscape. His star continued to rise. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds. He dreamed of conquest, of spreading the ideals of the French Revolution across Europe. Napoleon's battlefield prowess became legendary. His name is synonymous with military genius and strategic brilliance. He was a master strategist, always thinking several steps ahead of his enemies. His ability to anticipate and counteract enemy moves was unparalleled. But he wasn't just a gifted commander. He was a visionary leader who understood the importance of innovation in warfare. He was also an innovator. Napoleon modernized warfare by introducing new tactics and technologies that changed the face of battle forever. He reorganized the French army, creating a more efficient and mobile force. This reorganization allowed his troops to move quickly and strike with precision. One of his key innovations was the use of corps. These corps were not just divisions of the army, they were self-sufficient units capable of independent action. These were self-sufficient units that could operate independently. This structure gave Napoleon's army a level of flexibility and responsiveness that was unmatched at the time. This gave Napoleon's army incredible flexibility on the battlefield. He could adapt to changing circumstances and exploit weaknesses in enemy lines with remarkable speed. He could strike quickly and decisively, keeping his enemies off balance. His ability to execute rapid maneuvers often left his adversaries in disarray. Napoleon's victories were swift and decisive. His campaigns were marked by a series of rapid, overwhelming successes. He conquered vast territories across Europe. His empire stretched from the Iberian Peninsula to the Russian steppes. He defeated the Austrians at the Battle of Lodi in 1796. This victory was a turning point in his Italian campaign. This victory opened up the Italian peninsula to French conquest. It demonstrated Napoleon's ability to achieve strategic objectives through decisive action. Napoleon's name struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. His reputation as an invincible commander preceded him. His soldiers were fiercely loyal. They admired his leadership and were motivated by his vision of glory and honor. They were inspired by his leadership and his promise of glory. Napoleon's charisma and tactical brilliance made him a beloved figure among his men. Napoleon's victories were not without cost. The battles were brutal and the casualties were high. The Napoleonic Wars raged across Europe. These conflicts reshaped the continent and had lasting impacts on European politics and society. Millions died in the conflicts. The human cost of Napoleon's ambition was immense. Napoleon's ambition had a dark side. He was willing to make ruthless decisions to achieve his goals. He was ruthless in pursuit of his goals. His determination and single-minded focus often led to harsh measures. Yet, he was also a visionary. He sought to spread the revolutionary ideals that had shaped his own rise to power. He believed in spreading the ideals of the French Revolution, liberty, equality, and fraternity. These principles were at the core of his vision for a new Europe. Napoleon's ambition wasn't confined to Europe. His vision extended far beyond the familiar borders of the continent. He dreamed of expanding French power into the East, envisioning a grand empire that spanned continents. In 1798, he launched a daring expedition to Egypt, a land of ancient wonders and strategic importance. He wasn't just interested in conquest. His curiosity about the world was insatiable. He was fascinated by ancient Egypt, a civilization that had thrived millennia before his time. He brought along scientists and scholars to study its history and culture, hoping to unlock the secrets of the past. Imagine Napoleon, standing before the Great Sphinx, contemplating the mysteries of the ancient world. The sheer scale and age of the monuments must have been awe-inspiring. He saw himself as a modern-day Alexander the Great, destined to conquer and rule lands far and wide. The expedition, however, was a military failure. The harsh realities of war soon caught up with his grand ambitions. The British Navy, under the command of Horatio Nelson, destroyed the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile, leaving Napoleon and his troops stranded. Napoleon was stranded in Egypt, but he didn't despair. Instead, he turned his focus to exploration and discovery. He used his time to explore the ancient ruins, delving into the rich history that surrounded him. He even established the Institut d'Égypte, a scientific society dedicated to studying Egyptian antiquities, fostering a spirit of intellectual curiosity. Napoleon's fascination with Egypt reveals another side of his complex personality. He was not just a military leader, but also a man deeply interested in science and culture. He was a man of science and reason, but also a dreamer and a romantic, captivated by the allure of ancient civilizations. Despite his military setbacks, Napoleon returned to France a hero. His ability to turn defeat into a narrative of triumph was remarkable. He had a knack for propaganda, skillfully spinning the Egyptian campaign as a victory. He emphasized the scientific discoveries made during the expedition, and the people believed him. The treasures and knowledge brought back from Egypt captivated the French public. They were ready for a leader who could restore order after years of revolution. Napoleon's return marked the beginning of a new chapter in French history, one where he would rise to unprecedented power.